Hey, my name is Nick Viscomi. I've been at Northwest Hills for just about a month now. The story starts in my senior year of high school when I'm applying for college. I was doing great in high school and I was in a really competitive academic environment, so I was super bent on going to the best school possible, preferably the Ivy League. I wanted academic validation, prestige, and when decision day came around, I was accepted to Boston University with a nice merit scholarship, Oregon State, Florida State, and waitlisted at Cornell. I was very excited to get into BU, Boston University. I latched on very hard and I wanted to make it work, but it was incredibly expensive and that was not possible because of my family's financial situation, which took a serious turn for the worse about 5 years ago when my dad got diagnosed with cancer and he was fighting that and he beat that, praise God. But that was very expensive. So first of all, Boston University was off the table, completely too expensive, and we fully committed to Oregon State. I bought a sweatshirt, I wore it around school all the time, and I was so happy to be going there. And then a month later, June 1st, their financial aid appeal opens, and we weren't expecting really anything because we did the same thing at BU and they gave nothing extra. So we didn't expect Oregon State to give anything else. But my mom had the random urge to go back and look at our old FAFSA. And as she was looking through, she saw a massive 6-figure mistake. It asked to include your asset value, but don't include your home value. And she added the home value to it. So essentially we told the government and all these schools that I applied to that we had the value of our home sitting in a bank account. And that's why the financial aid was so bad. And the reason that this was such an incredible blessing is because that mistake is what made us reject BU. If we found that mistake and our FAFSA was processed correctly, I would 100% be at Boston University. But because of this mistake, rejected BU, and now I'm going to Oregon State. And the uncovering of this mistake allowed us to get the federal Pell Grant that made it truly affordable this time. And it wasn't just we have 1 year worth of money. This was, we actually have a plan to get you to college, Nick. Like, you're actually going to college. And that was true. That was an incredible moment. And I knew that it was from God because of the way that I reacted and the way that my mom reacted. We were both overjoyed, over the moon with happiness. And if I didn't have a relationship with God, this would have been the moment that my mom's mistake on the FAFSA took away the thing that I wanted so badly, but that never crossed my mind for a second. And I knew that this was actually what God had for me. After committing to Oregon State, I got an email saying that I could go to Cornell after spending a year at another school. Fast forward to March of this year, I applied. Then in May, I was accepted and I was totally unsure of what to do. I know that God has moved powerfully to get me to Oregon State, and I did not want to leave if I didn't know that He was also moving powerfully to take me to Cornell. I said something along the lines of, Lord, I can feel you guiding me to Cornell. Please intervene if I'm about to make a mistake. And just a few hours later, as I was eating lunch, I got an email from Cornell, revised financial aid offer. And my first reaction was, oh, they're going to revoke some financial aid and I'm not going to go to Cornell. But it was the complete opposite. They moved it from $600 per year down to a $0 net cost. And at that moment, I knew it was from God. It was the clearest sign I've ever seen, and I'm going to Cornell. I'm so thankful for how big our God is, because it's easy to forget. We think that money is so important and it's crushing and all of these things are so big and powerful, but they're nothing for God. When I was in high school and I didn't think that I was going to be able to go to BU and I didn't think I was going to be able to go to college at all, it felt like the whole world was crumbling around me and I had no control over it. And I'm sure there's somebody out there who's having similar financial difficulties. Be willing to trust the Lord with your money and your finances, because as it says in Malachi 3:20, bring the whole tithe and He will open the floodgates of heaven and overflow your life with so much blessing that you won't have enough room to store it. That is what the Lord Almighty says. So trust Him.